Everyone wants influence, but influence does not equal investment. You know that in the world today, it's like you ask a kid what they want to do when they grow up, and it's, I want to be an influencer. I want to have a YouTube channel or whatever. And so this tagline of influencer means a lot, and it carries a lot of weight as a word. And usually it's a positive thing, right? It's almost like they have the way. They have the way of living, the product, the habits, the whatever that's going to allow us to live the life that we all want to live. In parenting, though, influence is not the same as investment. You see, every adult that we see walking in the world was once a child who today is carrying the results of their parental influence, both positive and negative. Like, think about that personally for yourself. Like, you are carrying the influence of your parents. And so take a moment and pause this and listen to yourself and think, okay, what's one result of my parents that I brought into adulthood? One influential thing from my parents, both one positive thing and one negative thing. Okay, pause it and go ahead and think about that. You see, you realize, and you even just kind of proved personally, anecdotally, that influence is inevitable. It's actually almost accidental. Like, it's the default in parenting. You can try really hard not to, and you'll still influence your kids. You can try really hard too, and you'll influence your kids. It doesn't matter, like intention, effort. Like, you will influence your kids. The way that you influence your kids certainly has to do with how you spend your time and how you invest your time and how you treat them, all that sort of thing. But influence is just true. Okay. Here's the deal: bending the trajectory of our influence on our kids to a legacy that's worth leaving, that's a choice that requires an investment. See, investment and influence, they aren't mutually exclusive, but if you want to improve the influence that you leave for your kids, if you want to make sure it's the best influence, like the weight of positive to negative is like 80-20 or higher, right? You have to invest. You have to take the time to learn the skills, to do the things, to treat them, be emotionally healthy, physically healthy, mentally healthy, in order that you're not just depositing things into your kid's life that is not healthy. So think about this between the two, comparing the two, contrasting the two. Influence is easy. Investment is hard. Influence is accidental. Investment is intentional. Influence can be damaging. Investment is always healing, even if it hurts. Think about discipline. Think about hard lessons that our kids have to learn. It's good, it's healing, even if it hurts. Influence is cyclical or automatic. Investment is established. Influence is the baseline. Investment is limitless. Influence is default. Investment is specialized. You see, investment does come with a higher cost, we think, on the front end, but there's a better ROI. Right now, in the present, investment comes at a higher cost, but a better return on that investment. It will require time, mostly quality of time, like how you're spending your time with your kids, not so much quantity. Quantity does matter, but only to a certain degree, only to a certain level. It's going to require money. It's going to require energy. See, there's no outcome in parenting that is guaranteed. You're not promised tomorrow. Like, tragic things happen every day where parents lose kids or kids lose parents, and we don't control that. So we can't guarantee the outcome, but choosing to proactively invest in our relationships with our kids and our family, that equips us in the process to better navigate the rough seas that are inevitable, the rough seas that are coming, whether we like it or not. But settling for less, settling for influence alone, could leave you ill-equipped and with a shattered ship. Try navigating rough seas in a shattered ship. We've seen families that this happens to, and they fall apart because they're ill-equipped to walk through together the battle, the hardship, whatever is coming at them. All right, so now it's time. We're going to try something a little different. And I'm going to have you pause after I ask this question and either jot it down if you're driving, maybe take a voice memo and answer these questions. How do you hope your kids answer the question when they're adults? What influence did my parents have on me? Okay, let me say it again. When your kids are adults, how do you hope they answer this question? My parents' influence on me was blank. Okay, pause, answer that question. All right, next question. What is a barrier getting in the way of that goal that you just answered? You're hoping that your kids answer this question this way. I hope that I have a positive influence. They learn hard work, all the things, right? Whatever you put down. What's the barrier that is going to get in the way of them being able to say that as adults? Pause, answer the question. And lastly, what will it cost you or cost your children if you allow this barrier to stay there? In other words, you don't do the work. You just settle for influence and you let the barrier stay there. You let the barrier be there and the barrier beats you. So now your kids don't answer that question in adulthood the way you hope. What is it costing you to let that barrier win? What is it costing your kids? Pause, answer the question. I hope today you've been challenged, you've been encouraged, and you've been driven deeper to ask the questions, how am I doing when I look forward to the adults that I'm raising? Because the idea that we can just make it up as we go along, which most parents do and we do, we don't have to do that. Like we can lean on each other. We can grow together. We can commit to becoming the parents that we wish we already were. Remember, influence does not equal investment. Everyone wants to be an influencer. Who out there wants to be an investor in your kids and your family's future so that you can bend the trajectory towards leaving a legacy that's worth leaving?